morning. Welcome to Miss Annette's Little Farm in the Big City. Yesterday was an absolutely fantastic day. We had our very last event of this season. We had our Halloween party for the kids from the garden club and for the neighborhood kids. I kind of combined both so I don't have to have two different separate parties. And we had a wonderful time. But now it's time. Today is Wednesday, November the 1st, which means it is Dia de los Muertos. And I am going to be making my altura today. But before I can do that, I need to bring all my plants in because by the end of the afternoon, it is going to be very cold today. And since it's so cold out, I need to do some extra things. Let's see. After I get the plants in, let's go over what I need to do today so I can think about it. I got to get all the plants inside. I haven't had the animals up, so I'm going to get the animals up, but I need to change their doors out so that they're not so cold at night. I found some gloves. These are my old gloves. They have a lot of holes in them, so they're not really good gloves, but I found some gloves and put a hat on because it really is cold. Let's go ahead and get the animals up. Dragging you around with me. Oh, and the garage is still decorated for the party yesterday. Oops, sorry. There you go. All right. Oh, I have everything all decorated for the party that we had yesterday for the kids, and I still have to clean up. Man, I'm getting lazy, aren't I? Okay. Let's get these poor little animals up. It's gonna make me sad when I have to put my hose away. It's so handy. All right. These are heavy. I'm gonna have to carry them with 2 hands. Oh. Now, some people, when they buy their Boston ferns, they just let them die out for the season and just buy new ones every year. I at least attempt to keep mine alive all winter long so that I can reuse them in the summer. And it works sometimes and sometimes it doesn't. I'm going to stick them in the bathtub and give them a good soaking before I put them in. The cactuses. All right. Just a couple more to get in. Well, it's a little bit crowded, so I'm going to move things around a little bit. Now, I brought these plants in, and I gave them a good soaking outside, and I'm going to let them get dried out a little bit. So if there are any bugs or anything in them, they'll all get dried out. Sometimes you get those little gnats, and that's because the soil is really moist, and they like that. So I'm going to let things dry out a little bit, which it will be quick because it's warm now and there's very little humidity except for my little water fountain. Maybe I need to turn that off. Anyway, we'll let these dry out a little bit to kill any bugs that are coming in. I also picked through them really quickly to make sure that there weren't any bugs. Mr. Steve helped me. He put the cans back and the hay bales back, so I don't have to do that. I just have to pick up this game. Hang on, I'm setting it down. I just have to pick up this game, but it's kind of got hay all over it. That my neighbors let me borrow for the party yesterday. All the kids, I'm gonna make sure everything's accounted for. You can never tell when you have kids playing with stuff, you know. But they were really nice to let us borrow it. I want to make sure I get it returned to them. It's just a little miniature cornhole game. Get all the hay off of it. Just one. I think we got all the bags now. Get all this hay in there. I have my burlap out here, and I'm going to cover my lilac tree. And not because of the frost, but because I don't want the goats to eat it. So that'll keep the goats from eating it. It's a very young bush, and I've been babying it, and I'm hoping that now that this will be its second year here, that next spring it will be blooming. I hope. It should be mature enough, as long as I can keep the goats away from it. I had the camera out. I was getting ready. The chickens were doing something really cute, and I was going to videotape it. And what happens? As soon as I come up with the camera, they stopped doing cute stuff. Are you girls being cute? Are you being cute? Yes. Oh, don't say you're always cute. Alright. So we have these nice vented windows for the animals, and I am going to go ahead and put some plastic over these. We have two windows, and I'm going to put plastic on them, but we also have two vents up high, and then around the barn there's some openings to make sure that there's plenty of ventilation. And then if it gets too cold, sometimes we do close up a little bit of the ventilation just to keep the warm air in. We don't heat our barn for safety reasons, but we do try to keep the animals warm. We also use the deep litter method, where I will clean out some of the dirty litter and then just put clean litter on top. The decomposing litter on the bottom creates heat. I mean, not an enormous amount of heat, but it creates heat because it's decomposing, and heat rises, and that will keep the animals warm as well. The goats grow an extra coat during the winter. The chickens grow new feathers during the winter, and the ducks have this big layer of fat that keeps them warm during the winter. So the animals they do not have to have heating in the barn. Now, if it were an extreme temperature event, I would definitely consider it. But up to this point, it's not worth the safety risk to do that. And I know a lot of people sympathize with the animals, and if you were in that cold barn, wouldn't you be uncomfortable? Well, yes, because I'm human. I have lost all of my bodily hair. Well, I mean, I'm still hairy, but fine hair. But I've lost my how do you say it? I'm trying to think. Evolution has made it so that I am uncomfortable being out in the cold weather. I have to have all these other layers. As the animals, evolution has been kind to them and helped them to adapt to being outside. So it's okay, and I promise you that if it gets extremely cold during the winter, I'm out here with my animals making sure that they're okay, making sure that they have dry bedding, making sure that they have fresh water, and watching their behaviors to make sure there isn't any frostbite or anything bad happening. So I promise you that. Okay? All right, let's get this plastic up on the window. I forgot you were still watching. Remember, put it in because then when you put it in, sometimes it's hard to pick up from the bottom. So then I have something to pull it up, and I put it in. Hang on. Look at that. You're going to be warmer tonight. Here we go. And then see what this looks like. Put some new hay in there. Excuse me a second. Lock the door so you don't get locked in. Excuse me. Thank you. All right, pretty girl. Oh, you need some more baking soda? Is your tummy upset? I'm covered in dust and straw. And Mr. Steve comes out here and he says, "Hey, you want to go to lunch?" So guess what? I'm going to go to lunch with Mr. Steve. I'll see you in a little bit. Well, we have all that done. Now I'm going to do something fun. I'm going to go ahead and get my Altura ready. So I need to clean off my desk because I like to put it out here in the sunroom or in my office. So let's go ahead and clean up this mess I have in here. Here's somewhere else. I can be inconvenienced for a second here. This is my grandmother's rebozo, her shawl, and I'll be using that in my design for my Altura. This box here, my grandchildren and I painted it together to make it a little Altura, and then I'll just be putting the elements. The marigold is a flower that is commonly used in Alturas like this, and since it is so late in the season, I couldn't really find any marigolds, but I did find this artificial marigolds, so I'll be using those. And I have some flags that Mr. Steve and I purchased when we were in Mexico last time. I have these little sugar skull cups that I made. They're not really sugar skulls, but they're made out of those little plastic skulls that you can buy at the dollar store, and I just painted them to make them look like sugar skulls. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you for hanging out with me today. I thank you for your commenting and your subscribing and your sharing, all of that. That means the world to me. I really do appreciate it. Thank you. And I guess I want you to get outside if you can. Bundle up. It's starting to get cold. And take care of yourself. Take care of each other. And we'll see you next time. Bye.